Happy weekend, everybody. This is Nick, and just wanted to show this week's updates for Project Quest. Actually got a couple of things to show. I have added the obligatory, but oh so important, RPG bucket, as seen in all games. You can walk up to it, you can even bump it, move it, and it has an item in it. Combat has not changed. I haven't done anything with that yet. I've still got a couple of bugs I need to work out, but I did add damage text. I don't know why that's super important, but it is, and there it is. And the same thing works for regular melee attacks. It's just a canvas kind of half rotated towards the camera. There is obviously that one bug in combat still, that the enemy can still attack after they've been killed. And I did add some text at the top so you know when you pick something up and what you pick up. I still need to fill out some of the inventory information there. Right here is going to be the exit from this area into the world map, which I will show the world map that I finally got done this weekend. Show that after this part. So nothing really has changed in this part. I have cleaned up some of the parenting with the box items when they spawn. I still have to redo the castle. Threw in some torches to test those out. And need some more potions. Never know what you're gonna find. Skadoosh. Alright. So most of this, I think I put on last week's video. I still have a bug with the battle plane when you go into combat. It's not finding the right active zone and picking out what color it needs. But I think I've narrowed down what the problem is there. So I added this hallway that will key off into several other rooms from here. And then you'll just go into whichever portal you want to go to go to the appropriate room. The only room that I've built so far, and I would have built more, but I am freaking tired. Going here, it's just the coffin room. Right now there's nothing in here, except you can play with the coffins if you really want to screw with the lid for whatever reason. Don't know why, but there it is. I need to flesh out some stuff in here, add a couple of enemies, maybe some skeletons laying around. Just general things to kind of give it some life. None of the other rooms yet work. This one will be going deeper into the crypt. This one will probably be for like a save or a refresh room or something. And then over here will just be more, random combat for the player to engage in if they so choose. I changed the camera rendering from gamma to linear, so the dust particles show up a little bit better, which is super awesome. And that being said and shown and whatnot, I'm going to switch over to the world map. And it takes a little bit to load because there's I think there's like 3,000 objects in the scene. And I'll explain how I made it when it loads up. It'll make more sense. But I downloaded an asset. I think it's called like Easy Place or something like that. Easy Scatter. Right here. It's free. Basically, it lets you paint prefabs onto a surface or wherever you want in any rotation. Auto resize, random resize rather. All kinds of fun stuff. So the reason that there are so many objects in this scene, you can see it right here actually. There's several tiles that make up the ground area. The water is just the ground plane that everything is built on and painted onto. This area right here is where the demo is going to entirely take place. This little castle right here will be the castle where the player is at. The road that they're on in the previous part of the video will be the lead-in from town, which I still have to do, to the castle. But the player will actually be dropped into this forest to start with. When they exit the forest, they'll come out somewhere around over here, The town will be the first thing that they see. It'll encourage them to go to the town. There will be some things to do there. Want to get some, like a merchant and general random pathing NPCs. General RPG elements like that. From there will be a scene to move from the town to the castle, which is where it will kind of start the it'll start the kind of like the storyline for the demo, I guess I should say. You'll meet the king of this particular area, and then you'll go down into the crypts, which you just saw. You'll go from there. This tower I'm going to use basically as a combat tower. It's going to be an infinite level of monsters. You're basically going to just run in there, and the whole thing will be dynamically generated as best I can. And you're just going to fight all the time if you get bored. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with that, if it's going to be like a loot tower, or if it's just going to be a time-wasting tower, or if it's just a practice tower where you don't actually die. I haven't figured that out yet. But anyway, as for the world map, zoom all the way out here, show you guys what the world map looks like. So you have your north and south pole. You have a bunch of generally large forests, some mountain ranges, this giant ass desert over here for whatever reason, and then of course the ocean everywhere. I haven't really fleshed out a huge long story yet. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I've got several ideas. They're being put on paper, but just haven't actually gotten that far. I wanted to get the demo out and see what you guys thought first. Zooming in on the map, like let's say we were at the player's level, this is what we would see. So everything's 3D, but the camera is going to be up around, you can actually see it right there in the scene. It's going to be like right there, and you can see it on the right hand side of the screen. That's actually in game over here. So the view angle is very retro RPG, but the style of the map is very new age. I figured that going with a magical voxel driven game art, the map should not be flat. It should be very voxelized, I should say. But I didn't want to do like a Minecraft map. I didn't like that idea. I wanted to be able to control where the cities were and where the towns were, and very linear. A lot of people don't like linear games, but this game is a head nod to the old SNES RPGs and Japanese RPGs, things like that, that gamers of my generation really, really loved. So when the player gets the world map, they can move around with the same controls. They can even jump. Their movement speed will just be lowered, so that it'll seem like they're traveling a long distance. But as you can see, the world map is very large. There's plenty to do, plenty to see, and each little area like this is going to be kind of like a zone in and of itself. So you'll be able to basically see things, like explore dungeons inside this whole world. Let me know what you guys think. So far I am 3 weekends into this project. I feel like I've put a lot of time into it, but I've gotten a lot done in a very short amount of time. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Any suggestions, constructive feedback, I'm very welcome for it. So thank you for watching, and we'll hopefully have some more next weekend.